So I thought we'll talk a bit about Ubuntu Phone and for Android and things like this. Going on from my previous video, which you can see up there, about the year of Linux, which I genuinely believe is going to be the year of Linux, to be honest. Ubuntu Phone and Ubuntu for Android. So I'm not going to go through the ins and outs of the actual operating systems necessarily and what you can do with it, because you can check that out up there. There's a thing that the founder of Ubuntu actually rambled on. I can't even remember what the hell his name is, but he went on about it all. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to have two versions of Ubuntu for the phone. So they're going to have Ubuntu for Android, which is basically so let me go back a bit and get my thoughts straight. The way things are going is unified interfaces. So, as we've already seen really with Windows 8 and with Windows Phone 8, it's a unified interface. So everything looks the same. You have one account and you can log into any device that's got that operating system on it. And it's the way that Mac will probably eventually go, because it's just what's happening. And that's the way that Ubuntu wants to go. They kind of, the whole thing is like Ubuntu is essentially a desktop OS, but like Linux it was originally a desktop OS, but it's not really gone to the desktop really. Linux does run everything but the desktop really. In terms of market share, Linux is on damn near everything but desktops, which is what it was originally designed for, which is funny. But Ubuntu is going to do this, so unified interface essentially. So you're going to have Ubuntu for Android and a standard Ubuntu phone. So there's the two options. So Ubuntu for Android is pretty much chuck it on any device that you've got that will support peripherals and stuff, so that basically you just have a phone and you dump it into a dock and you can use it as a PC. And it'll have a full version of Ubuntu on it, so you can do whatever the fuck you want, pretty much. And it'll be like a full computer. And you can quite easily do that with today's phones. I mean, today's phones have got quad-core CPUs, at least a gig of RAM, maybe some GRAM in there as well, because you've got system-on-chip devices now, SoCs, which are fucking powerful, like really, really powerful. Especially with Exynos, the Exynos processor that's in the Samsung Galaxy S3, and it's coming coming to a few LG devices in the near future. Fantastic hardware in there. That's brilliant. I mean, that blows everything out of the water. You can quite easily run an operating system on it. The only downside is it's running ARM, so a lot of things aren't ported to ARM just yet. But Ubuntu is moving towards that sort of area, so that you'll have a phone or you'll have a device, you plug it in, and it's your desktop. So you can take it with you and you can take it around with you. And this is particularly helpful if you're a business, because it means you can give everybody a device, a small device as well. They can use it as a phone, and then when they get back to the desk or into the office or whatever, or maybe even a laptop that you could dock it into, you can then use it as a full PC. So you can do your emails, you can do everything you would want to do on a full desktop that you'd want to do, which is fantastic. And then obviously the other way is Ubuntu Phone. So it's basically just a phone version of Phone OS. There's literally just for the phone. There's no other, it's not dockable or anything like that. And so it'll be another alternative to Android, another alternative to Windows Phone and iOS and all these other ones that are out. Symbian, which is pretty much null and void now. And even BlackBerry, to be honest. Although it'd be interesting to see what BlackBerry 10 looks like in the coming year, whether or not they'll actually rescue the business or not, really. So Ubuntu's going down that route. Now this is brilliant for unified interfaces, because unified interfaces is where things are going. So you have, especially in business, because you could give, because at the moment what generally tends to happen in business is certain employees will have a desktop/laptop which might be dockable, and a mobile device, and maybe even a tablet on top of that as well. And all these three devices, maybe two or three devices, will have different ways of working, and will have to have different accounts. Like if you have an Android device, you'll have to have an Android or a Google account. If you have an Apple device, you're going to have an Apple account. If you have a Microsoft device, you're going to have a Microsoft account, and with unified interface, it means you can have one account and use it across the devices. Now, this is already going to say, with Windows 8, it's already kind of there, really. So you have, especially with Office 365, if you have Office 365, you are fucking in, because that is I think Office 365 is bloody amazing in terms of roaming profiles, because roaming profiles, like literally roaming as in you don't even have to be in the organization to have a roaming profile. So you have like a profile that follows you around, so you can log into any device. It's got Windows 8 running, and you can pull down all your apps, all your business stuff, all your shared drives, all these other funky things. And so with Windows Phone or Windows at the moment, as it currently is, Windows 8. If you have Office 365, you have a login, which will usually be your organisation email, and then a password. And then you just basically log into the device. So you log into your Windows 8 PC, and then you probably log into your Windows 8 phone, or Windows Phone 8, Windows 8 phone, whatever, as well. And it will pull down all your apps, it will pull down all your settings, it will pull down all your contacts, things like that, without you having to set everything up again. And it's the same with what they want to do with Ubuntu. Not currently how they've got things going with Apple at the moment. Not really. I think they probably will switch down that route. So basically, you have any device and you can log in with your Apple ID, and that means you'll pull down your apps and pull down your settings and contacts and email and all these other funky things as well. And I think that's probably where they will go, because they're kind of swapping over iOS and Mac OS, and they're kind of doing this funny amalgamation of stuff. And that's kind of it, really. That's all I've got to say with it. I think it'd be really interesting if OEMs get on board, because if OEMs get on board, then we might get somewhere. I don't think OEMs necessarily will just yet. I think they might. I mean, HTC might bring out a Ubuntu device. Samsung probably won't, because they've pretty much married with Google at the moment, although they're trying to want to go away from Google, which is really stupid. It's a really poor decision. Google definitely won't do anything. LG might do, maybe, possibly, unlikely. Motorola won't, because it's owned by Google, so that's out the window. But it'll be interesting to see if any OEMs pick it up, because if no OEMs pick it up, then there's no point in running it, because it'll only be geeks like me that'll actually just run it on their phones, and that'll be it. So it's pointless, because no one will install a mobile operating system on their phone, because you'll have to root it and all these other funky things. So it's not gonna work. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there, because I've not really got much more to say, and it's gone for far too long. Leave a comment down below about what you think about Ubuntu and especially Ubuntu Phone as well. Not forgetting Ubuntu TV, which is kind of meh. I'm not really gonna worry too much about that. Yeah, and I shall catch you in a later video.